This is your story on what's happening with Goldman. So there's what's happening with employee pay there, which is always the number one topic of concern.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the chart, it's going down. It's been going down for the last 10 years. And a lot of that has to do with the demise of trading as this huge moneymaker. But at the same time, we're talking about the transformation that Solomon is trying to enact at Goldman. They're trying to make it more of a platform software company. And the CFO told us, told the analysts on the call the other day, as it becomes more of a software-based platform company, the importance of human intermediation goes down. Compensation should go down even further.
Wow. Okay. So if I worked at Goldman, Dan, I'm getting that message pretty loud and clear. But then look at Morgan Stanley having a great day. The earnings are pretty strong. And by the way, their strategy has been wealth management. We're going to grow the business that way. Goldman's doing more of this consumer banking thing that heavily leans on technology. Is the market telling us that Morgan's strategy is working better than Goldman's?
Yeah, I think it is interesting because certainly Morgan Stanley hasn't been as vocal with some of their tech developments as Goldman. It might be a little too early to kind of call it as, Morgan's making the right choice. I think, Goldman would probably point to the progress that Marquis has made. It would point to some of the, tech investment that they're making into their new trading, platform. So I think right now, certainly Morgan Stanley's kind of sitting pretty and very happy, but it's a marathon, not a sprint.
So you think potentially we spin this out 5 or 10 years, and it looks like these investments that Goldman's making, Hugh, into the Apple Card. I mean, the transformation of their trading operation has been huge and has gotten a lot of ink. All of those just need more time to pay off?
I want to say, look, Morgan Stanley made the choice a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, to buy their brokerage, to diversify away from these capital markets businesses. And that's why they're reaping the benefits of it today. Arguably, Goldman Sachs, if you take their side on it, basically, they're setting the seeds that'll come down in a few years, and it takes years for that to actually come through.
But it's interesting, and I know, Dan, a lot about this. In the fintech space, It's very crowded right now. It's very competitive. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit. Is Goldman going to be able to differentiate itself so that it doesn't have losses that come back at it? I mean, we haven't even seen these businesses weather a downturn yet.
Yeah, I mean, you do need to be kind of careful with some of your bets, right? So you look at someone like a JP Morgan, right? They kind of go all in on something like Fin. Hoping to kind of disrupt how they're doing retail banking. And less than a year later, they have to shut it down.
They pulled it, yeah.
It's definitely not 100% a safe bet that every single tech development. I think, just case in point, look at probably 5 years ago, Hugh, you can probably speak to this as well. How many times did you get a pitch on an innovation center, a bank starting an innovation center, every day? How many times are you hearing explanations about, look at all the stuff that came out of those innovation centers? I don't get those pitches as much in my inbox.
I mean, a lot of that's innovation window dressing.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Then there's a couple different strands of technology. There's the innovation issues. We talked about their investments in new players and so forth. But on trading, is that investment, Hugh, paying off?
It hasn't yet. But look, they just announced a $100 million investment for basically a quant platform. And this is the topic we're talking about. We're talking about users, clients working with software rather than picking up the phone and calling up their friendly Goldman Sachs sales guy. And so I think basically if you look at Goldman and their strengths, which is trading, I wouldn't bet against them on this.